guys, we're about to get started here just in a minute. Always got to do, the per usual, making sure all our audio levels are good, making sure all the technicals are all good to go before we get started. Hope you guys have had a great weekend, and you guys have been keeping up to date. Just a little bit of the news, getting towards the end of March, already here, pretty much in April. You guys know April's usually a good month for us, so we're gearing up hopefully for a good month. Absolutely. For those who are new, welcome. Please, I'm your guys' host, Trent Manager. For my returning patrons, of course, you guys already know we're here so often. You guys already know what to expect. But for all my newer people, I'm really glad you're here, and I hope this stream provides value. Just because Tuesday streams are always usually the best. Just because it's a fresh week. We get news rolling over from the weekend, and from last week. We get new stuff every day, constantly. But Tuesday especially, at least for my Tuesday streams, I really do enjoy them a ton, just because they're always just jam packed full of great info. So alright, I think we're all good on the audio levels. We are about to get started, guys. Really glad you guys are here. Gonna go over our agenda real quick before we get started. Just double checking, make sure all our readings are in order. Cool. Awesome, guys. Alrighty, guys. So hopping into our agenda real quick, what we're gonna be covering this session. Per usual, no more than an hour today. We had some good readings. I don't think we have a lot of videos today. I might play some short clips, but for the most part, we got some really good important news regarding, we got Visa's USD transactions. We got Fidelity crypto-backed loans. Starting that, we have 90%, we're going to go over 90% of dirty, just mining. We're going to go over some mining facts from Miami. We're also going to go over some former SEC crypto advisory, and also we're going to go over some we're also going to go over Michael Jordan's Top Shot funding for some NFTs, which is also super nice. Let me just, before we get started. Oh, jeez. I haven't been sleeping very well, so I'm sorry if my words are not connected with my head. So one of those days, we'll had one of those nights last night. I'm definitely trying to fix some sleep around and get some things back on schedule. So awesome, guys. All right, guys. So hopping into our first reading, we're gonna go over. I don't know if you guys were aware yesterday, but this is just from an article from yesterday on the 30th. Just going over real quick, kind of just what this means for Visa. So Visa settles USD transactions on Ethereum, plans to roll out partnerships for all their Visa customers and all their consumers. So honestly, guys, all that really means for right now, it's very exciting news. Do not get me wrong, it's phenomenal news. Visa has processed cryptocurrency payments directly on Ethereum blockchain as a part of a new service. The payment giant plans to introduce its partners later this year. The move laid a sign of increased adoption of digital currencies by the old guard financial industry, bumped the price from Bitcoin, and then it goes over some technicals and kind of some, just kind of percentage changes. Roughly 5% per press released, shared CoinDesk Crypto.com, USD stablecoins transactions, Ethereum to an account of acknowledgement of customers. Oh my goodness, I literally cannot even talk to you guys. I'm so sorry. I might have to just take a second and just restart this real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna have to redo this. See if things are a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm not sure. Just in case, I'm gonna record this session just in case. I was having some technical issues just a second ago. I think we're all right now. But just in case, I'm gonna record this lesson just in case it didn't work out very well. But anyway, just had to do a quick reset. There was actually some small little technicals besides me not being able to talk just for that whole 3 minutes that you guys had to endure. But there was some audio. I was looking at some audio bugs that were over there. But regardless, I'm gonna record this just in case. But I think we should definitely be okay. If something's wrong, then just type in the chat for me. But I think we should be okay. Alrighty. So hopping back to where we were, going over our agenda. So we got some really good news to cover today, guys. We had a ton over the weekend, just like we usually do. Tuesdays are usually the best streams to tune into for all my newer people. Thank you if you're here. And sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. We usually don't have OBS is usually pretty good, but sometimes the OBS updates kind of interfere with the cam link and some other hardware I have in here. But we had some great news over the weekend. Tuesdays are usually our best days for tuning in for information. This week specifically, we had some really good information come out. We had Visa settlements over the weekend. That was yesterday on Sunday. Visa settlements USD C transaction for their stablecoin. So that means Visa is now using USDC stablecoin crypto backed stablecoin for their Ethereum transactions base. So that's just more readily adoption for them, and that's it's big news. And we're going to go over some readings on the article as to how how that translates. We're also going over. Oops, sorry, I got to turn this off. Also transferring over to Fidelity's. Fidelity's also going to be now offering crypto-backed loans. So we've talked about it a couple times, but we've talked about it with BlockFi and other platforms. They're now having you can now put up crypto backed for your collateral for your loans. So if you wanted to get a $50K loan or $75,000 loan, you can put up crypto to back that loan for collateral, or you can either translate that to fiat, or vice versa. It just kind of gives you that extra loophole that is needed for that financial system, and you can incorporate that with with crypto backed loans. And we're going to go over the reading, of course. Just go over the light overview for today. 90% of Journey mining comes from outside the U.S. We're also going to cover that. We're going to watch a clip of the mayor of Miami. We've covered Miami plenty of times, and we've talked about them, how innovative they are becoming as a city for cryptocurrency, payments, finances. They're a whole different world that they're having over there, and I really like their mayor. Their mayor does a good job of explaining it to newer people and also their residents of how this is going to work, because it is a pretty big transition, and it's good that that he is the man in charge of that, because I think he does a really good job. So we'll go further over that when we get into the article readings. Also, we're going to go over former SEC crypto advisor. So one of the head SEC advisors, not Gary Gensler, but I think there's a whole group of them, but there's another man that's a little bit lower than Gary, but he also has some good power, out of, controlling with the SEC. So, he's a big crypto dude. It's always good that we have these guys kind of in the hot seat, so it kind of just helps us, maneuver these times better. And, it's always good having, someone that has influence, that always talks and is able to kind of bring people together, kind of on the same, common goal. So that's always phenomenal that we're going to, we're going to talk about that further, and we'll continue that when we get to it. And also we're going to go over Michael Jordan investing, I think he invested a little bit more than that. I think he invested like 30 million, or maybe not 30, like 10. I think he invested like 10 million for the backing of the NFT Top Shot. We covered that also in the NFT section not too long ago, sometime last week, or we brought it up so many times. We talk about NFTs every single time we stream, and it's not even annoying, because it's just the way that things are going now, and it's a phenomenal way that artists and all of us can get involved in collectibles and digital scarcity assets. So we're going to cover that more, and also we're going to go over beforehand before I get too ahead of myself. We're going to go back to the NFT masterclass. So I will be probably making, I will most likely be covering an in-depth masterclass for non-fungible tokens. We're going to go through the kind of the intense breakdown of non-fungible tokens, what makes non-fungible tokens special, sites to purchase and sell non-fungible tokens. I've had some readings up and some links posted in the Patreon, but I was sitting down yesterday and I thought this would be a better way of doing things, and trying to get you guys more involved, because anyone can do non-fungible tokens. It doesn't limit you to just being able to make artwork. You could do virtual items, video games, skins, music, collectibles, digital trading cards, tokenized real world assets, virtual, like there's just so much that goes into them. So we're going to do a whole masterclass on that. That's going to be a whole separate video, so don't worry too much about that in this live stream, because I'm going to make that completely separate. I'm going to show you guys how to make them if you want to make artwork. I'm going to show you how to upload them, how you can maneuver all these all these non-fungible token areas, and possibly even make money off them. And even if you are an artist and you enjoy this, it's a great way to get your work out there and and connect with creators on that sense. So the community is really great. So we're gonna that's another great section that I'm gonna be working on for you guys, just because I have been building up my NFT collection, and I think it's probably about time that we do get to that section. So all right, hopping back to our main agenda for the day. Only got 5 articles today, so it should be fairly quick. So we shouldn't be in here too long, and we're gonna go in depth of everything that we need to go through today. It was a little bit of a slower day for a Tuesday, but we kind of had rollover news from the weekend and the week before that. So alrighty guys, so going over Visa settlements with USDC transaction on Ethereum, which plans to roll out to partners. So basically what this means, guys, is I'm just gonna read straight from the page, and then we'll elaborate like we usually do. Visa has processed a cryptocurrency payment directly on Ethereum. Ethereum's blockchain. As a part of new services, the payment giant plans to introduce its partners later this year. The movement for the latest sign of increased adoption of digital currencies by the old guard financial industry bumped the price from Bitcoin about 1.5%, and Ether didn't move. ETH didn't move too much, roughly 5.5%. For a press release with CoinDesk, Crypto.com sent USDC stablecoin transactions on Ethereum to an account of custody in users' Visa's names. Crypto.com issues a crypto-backed Visa card that allows users to spend their coins on Crypto.com wallets. So covering this, they didn't really. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like how they wrote this article. It was very lacking of information for the topic, and that's why they had the video here, and we'll play it for about we'll play a couple minutes of it after I kind of explain, because I've already watched this. But what this really means from Visa standpoint, and not only, and we're going to talk about PayPal too, of how this kind of ties together. So Visa opening up these doors like they already have been. Visa is one of the biggest card dealing institutions, and they do a lot. Visa has a lot of backing of high net individual customers, and not only base customers. You've probably seen them. You've seen the iPads, where you go to check out for maybe smaller business, and you've seen not the typical register that you usually have with checkout, and that's thanks to that's thank you to Visa and PayPal for having that available for those merchants. So all that means now is that Visa, you are now able to spend your cryptocurrency within certain merchants if they accept it. So, let's say we go to mom and pop store A. Mom and pop store A just got, PayPal acceptance, for cryptocurrency on their PayPal accounts. So now, if depending on the regulation of, the establishment, you can, if that establishment accepts Chainlink, or I'm just throwing out random coins right now, or Uniswap, or Bitcoin even, or even Ethereum, that is now an option for you to have payments. So, if mom and pop A, it says, hey, we would like payments in Ethereum, you are able to do that if that's something you're comfortable with. There'll always be options of paying with regular fiat, but, it's now the fact that we're seeing there are different options for payment. So that is why it's a bigger deal. That's why this is a bit of a bigger deal now, is because you have people who, like you and I, if you're here as early as you are, you now understand that, it's not always the easiest to get these transactions available. It's not always easiest to, even buy the assets in general. You might have to go through, not even loopholes, I'd say. There are just a lot of extra instructions that you got to do to get, certain assets. Like you can't, like for one example, you can't go on Coinbase and buy Polkadot yet, and Polkadot is it's the second leading smart contract orientated projects, that's on, that's on buying for assets. So, it's just kind of along those sense, it just makes it easier for individuals, for mom and pops, and simpler people who don't want to go through the loophole of, I can click right here. MetaMask is another good one. You type in, you log in here. This is MetaMask is an extension where you can send, cryptocurrency, through your web browser. And like, not everyone's gonna know how to do this or want to do this, and that's why it, is a bigger deal. They're catering to the to the ground zero, type people. They're catering for the people who don't really want to know the information and don't really care. They just want the easiest way that they're able to do it. So we're gonna play this clip just for a second. I'm gonna play just the first probably 2 minutes of it, so you guys can kind of just hear the audio and kind of see how they're talking about, and they're probably gonna cover the same thing that we did.
Currently process a cryptocurrency payment directly into the Ethereum blockchain, and this is part of a new service that's going to be opening up to different partners later in the year. But the idea being that people will be able to use cryptocurrency, USD coins, to settle transactions instead of cash. And so this has been tested out by Crypto.com. It's pretty exciting news, and it really just further brings home the point that this stuff is going mainstream and more people are jumping on board. Visa has been the most aggressive major credit card to pushing cryptocurrency payments. So I'm excited to see where this is going. I'm going to throw this to the group. Zach, what are your thoughts on Visa processing a payment to the Ethereum blockchain? It's kind of a huge step there.
For sure, it's been pretty striking to see Visa accelerate its adventures in crypto land, right? They were briefly associated with Libra way back in June 2019, and since then they've kind of gone whole hog on integrating crypto into their existing infrastructure. And I guess if you think about it, and this was kind of shared, I think, on the on First Mover today by Sam Bankman-Fried. If you think about Visa, it's really just a big, really fast permission blockchain network, right? It's not super dissimilar. They run a centralized ledger. They can handle tens of thousands of transactions a second. And the idea that they're adding USDC, which is obviously a fiat-backed stablecoin, to the payment rails that they already operate under is quite interesting. And we'll be interested to see what further experimentation comes out of this. I think it's just kind of like pilot state at this point, if I'm understanding it correctly. But should this go into production, I think that'd be quite boom.
So honestly, spending the first 30 seconds of that, they say the rollout phases are still happening and they're still, working out kinks of transactions. And that is true. This is not fully integrated just yet for the fact of, the USDC part, but PayPal, not so far to future, this is gonna, be very, very common. And we're not talking months. We're talking a matter of, possibly weeks, that this is officially confirmed. And they have already officially came out, and you can, go to PayPal and you can see, the notes for their merchants and all the people that, how they've had to explain this to them. And, it's a great movement in the right direction. So we're really moving positively towards that. And it was great news that we got yesterday because Ethereum did have a nice rally the other day. So, and also going over to Fidelity, we're going to go over Fidelity just quickly of their crypto-backed loans. We've seen it with BlockFi and we've seen it with so many other institutions, or not even really many institutions, but it's coming from Fidelity, it's a big kind of fist in the air. Kind of golden fist in the air for sure. Just for a number of reasons. Fidelity is number one looked at as top tier for their not only for their choices in the market, but their performance, their overall trustworthiness of how they govern their portfolios, customers, reviews, just the whole 9 yards. They're a phenomenal institution of how they do things, of centralization, cash loans, anything along those lines. So when Fidelity talks, it's usually a good thing, that they're saying, and they usually know what they're talking about. So, why this is serious and why this is important. We're not only seeing this available for other, financial issues, now that, like we talked about so many times, it's that B pipeline that we talk about so often. It's the fact that you can now have another option of being able to run your finances, not being tied down by the old rusty, pipeline A system. This is now just giving us just more adoption for us to giving us, more access, to these type of assets and other movements. So, Fidelity coming out, and I know they're filing for their ETF, and I don't know how, the US doesn't have an ETF just yet. And when Canada has 3, but regardless of the point, they come down here. I'll read the first paragraph. Fidelity began accepting Bitcoin as collateral for cash loans in December after partnering with crypto lender BlockFi. The product targets investors who are interested in using their Bitcoin without selling it, hedge funds, miners, and over-the-counter trading desk. So, we've covered BlockFi plenty of times, but I did not know actually Fidelity was working with BlockFi in this section. So actually, that's actually brand new to me. So that actually just kind of just strengthens my point even better. They're working with BlockFi. BlockFi has obviously rubbed off influence on some of these institutions, and they are now seeing how this is not only profitable for them, but also is probably a good idea for their customers. And their customers have probably been wanting it for quite a while now, because BlockFi's been around for quite a bit, but not a lot of people know about it. All it is just a glorified savings account. You're getting, on average, on your USDC stablecoin, like we just covered, you're getting around 8.6% per year. And, just to do the math on that, you put in... Let's see, you put in 5 here. Honestly, let's just pull up the BlockFi calculator just so I can show you guys the magnitude, because it is pretty crazy. Let's see. Let's go to their website. All right, so here we go. So let's just go to USDC, and let's say you got, so one USDC coin is equivalent to $1, by the way. So just to make that clear. So let's say you had $10,000 in there, and let's say you just had it in there for like 5 years. So 8%, 8.6% on average APY. You got $10,000 in there. You leave that in there. You're making, over that 5 years, you're making about $5,000 extra. Just from holding it in there. You're not even doing anything. So if that doesn't just kind of show the magnitude of what's possible with BlockFi and how, the traditional finance is kind of being, not weeded out, but, you're now seeing how this new shiny B pipeline is kind of working. Now you see why BlockFi's influence has been rubbing off on, such high institutions and high individuals, which is Fidelity, and you can see why, because this is now possible that you can do. By the way, 8% for people who aren't very good with kind of percentages per year with bank accounts and just overall return on investment, like especially when it comes to high interest savings accounts. 8% is insane. That is, I'm not kidding. Of course I wouldn't be kidding, but that is that's unheard of. Actually, that's probably like. I guarantee, not even guarantee. I ask your parents, ask people, in your life who are kind of financially aware. Ask them if they've ever heard of an 8% account per year. Just be like, hey, 8% APY, is that good? Just say that and see how they react, because that's phenomenal. That is pretty much almost unheard of. So I just kind of wanted to get the magnitude on that sense, to kind of just see what gateways these institutions and people are opening up for individuals and just other people, just kind of where they're heading. So Fidelity, great news, very positives all around on that space. They're working. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when at this point. So we say that all the time, but it's true. Every day we come on here and these articles and readings show us the truth of this every single day. So awesome. So now going down to the mayor of Miami, kind of just what he discussed of the 90% of Bitcoin's mining comes from dirty energy. Miami mayor says, I'm gonna find the clip if I can of I'm gonna have to find the clip of him talking about how this. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube, but we're gonna go over the reading just first. So we're just going over the main quote. It would be a benefit to the crypto community if we did not have more if we did have more mining in the U.S. because we produce clean energy, so it would change that narrative and that dynamic. And also in the future, you will see solar and other kinds of clean technology. In my opinion, technology is going to make Bitcoin mining more efficient. So that I can honestly agree with. That is very much true. He's 100% right. Most of the mining is not done in the U.S., and that's for a couple reasons. Number one, China's advancements in IT and just their overall understanding of blockchain is just sky high rocket. Like, if you look at the chart between us and the cryptocurrency race of how we're doing versus other countries, we're not top at all. We don't even have any ETFs. Canada's got 3 of them. Venezuela and a lot of South American people, individuals over there are well more adopted than we are. Africa even has way more adoption than we do, in the sense of just traditional finance and understanding. There's always rumors of people trying to block it and ban it and stuff. It just never works out. But going back to the environmental talk, he's very true. He's very true. The act of spacing minings out and having mining pools heavily in different sections of the world would of course be beneficial, but that's not always the case. So let me try and find the clip that he actually ended up was talking about just for a sec. Let me see. I could probably just find it on YouTube really quick. Let's see. Miami mayor. Let's see if he talks. Let's see if it just pops up quickly. Let's see if he's got it. Let's see if we can get maybe I think it was this week. See if we can find it. Oh, here we go. I think this is this might be it. Here, let's see. Not that one. Jeez, I saved it. I just did. Here, this is it. I'm just trying to find. Let's see. How mayor interests Bitcoin again. Crypto recap. Let's see why he believes in the future of government, the relation between cryptocurrencies, government, what Miami becomes. Oh man. Okay, whatever. It's not the biggest. If I find it, I'll definitely post it. I don't know how or why I didn't save it. I've been jumbled. It's just my mind's been all over the place. I'm just not doing very good with the whole organization. Even talking today is just very, very hard, and I'm just not sure what's going on. So whatever. Not the biggest deal in the world. We'll get back to that, and if I find that clip, I'll definitely post it down. But the mayor, as you guys know, Mayor of Miami's Mr. Gonzalez, he's been very active and very thumbs up for the crypto space, and now he's having that integrated in his city, for tax bracket breaks and personal city development, payment system, transaction wise. So big plus in Miami, and I know other individuals are talking about Miami and their huge influence of what they're doing. So that's always a plus on that end, and adoption continues. The adoption always continues. And also, guys, going down to former SEC crypto advisor, where I was going to go over this article real quick with Jay Clayton. So that is the man we talked about at the beginning, the man under Gary Gensler. So Jay Clayton joins crypto advisory board. So this is another plus, kind of what we talked about kind of earlier. We're kind of going to cover this quote just real quick here. We were impressed by Eric's willingness to hear out our various on decentralization of our monetary banking and capital markets ecosystem and One River's commit transparency, Clayton said. Clayton served a 3.5-year stint in the SEC, resigning on December 23rd, 2020. His tenure was defined by the substantial increase in monetary mandates and possibly to tune over $14 billion in returning billions in hammered investors. Okay, so going over this real quick, I just don't even mind the camera. We've had so many technical issues the past like couple days. It's been crazy. Like none of my webcams work on here for some reason. It's just crazy. I got to do some serious IT work and figure out what's going on. But we, kind of just going over this article quickly. This is also a big plus for Jerry Clayton joins Crypto Advisory Board. It just gives more reassurance for individuals. It gives more thumbs up. The SEC has consistently given their reasons as to why they've not wanted to look at crypto or do anything along those sides of regulation. They're just like, we'll just get to it later. But having these higher and the people who come from Wall Street and help run Wall Street, these high SEC individuals. I can't hear. Let's see. I can't hear you. Let's see. Really? Is that so? Let's see. Can't hear. It says the audio levels are good. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I thought you said you guys can't. I was about to say, that's very odd because the mic check is good. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry about the video. Don't worry about the video right now. I gotta do some IT. I gotta work on this camera and figure out what's going on. It's not doing very good. But anyway, thank you though. I appreciate that for letting me know. But moving forward on the J Clayton board. It's just a big plus for adoption, and it kind of just moves us forward in the extent of just continuing, this race, of giving the thumbs up from individuals and, making this easier for, everyone to accept and really giving us that, that B section. So absolutely. Oh, dude, no worries. I appreciate it, bro. That's literally the reason I have you guys in here to let me know if things aren't going well, because we've had a lot of technical issues like this stream for a ton. I don't know what's going on today, but, tech is tech. You're not going to really, you can't always be perfect. So awesome. And also, guys, finishing up on Michael Jordan's Top Shot investment firm behind NBA Top Shot. So Michael Jordan, he joins the $305 million investment firm behind NBA Top Shot. So if you guys remember what we talked about Top Shot, that was the NFT backed trading cards for the National Basketball Association. We talked about it with the NHL. NFL is doing that. We had Gronkowski in the Patron as well. I remember when he was talking about he released his whole card series when he did the exact same thing. But Michael Jordan now has came out and officially said that this is something he's going to be supporting and he's going to be pledging a good amount of money to. So the company down here, it's long story short. Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, the investment team for the deep branch of athletes of 30 plus. The rapper 2 Chainz is also in here. Piled the non-fungible tokens or NFTs for the firm startup for the signing of personnel with knowledge of the situation of the USA Today, reporting the funding of around Dapper's current valuation of at $2.6 billion. So as you guys know, you already know how much money NBA makes, NFL makes. How great some of these these big teams do, and how much money they bring in, not only for the USA, but for their institutions of just being athletes, brand deals, etc. Just influence around the world. The list just goes on. But this is a huge one for me because I read it and I was thinking, I was like, okay, he's someone of that age, and it always astounds me that people of this age are, they're starting to come around. Because I remember just a couple weeks ago, when the NFT craze was kind of starting, and people were like, "Oh, what is this?" Even me, I was very, very skeptical in the sense of, what was going on and how, this was going to play out. And I was like, man, this just doesn't. I'm like, this just seems too crazy. It cannot be that easy. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's kind of just how I felt at the time. But as time went on, it's been weeks now. It's been more than 2 months, and we've seen. Still increases, still people coming, still people doing this, still people wanting to make and learn and, translate their assets into digital assets on the blockchain. It truly is amazing. So, having, someone is, the legend pretty much of basketball for some people, this may not be your legend, but for majority of people, this is a lot of guys' legends. And the fact that, he's come around to this technology and he's, willing to, fund this and, have this move in the direction of it, digital support on the blockchain and how this is going to be minted and moved to forms of assets. It's pretty crazy. I think it's pretty nuts. So Michael Jordan funding that, I think that's just another step in the right direction. It really is. This whole weekend and what we covered and how this weekend went, it was really just one good article after another of just stacked news of having people coming out of the shadows and just say, hey, we thought about it. We did our research. A lot of these guys got to do more research than you and I, just because they're playing with a little bit more money, and they're just playing a little bit harder. But once they do their research and they come forward and this is exactly what happens, because the trust is there. This is not fool's gold, and it just takes some time for you to sit down and really wrap your head around, what is what, why this happens, why this is more valuable than this, and what this token does. It's definitely a lot, guys, and that's why taking your time with this and really understanding this technology is going to benefit you, long term in the future. And that's why we do this. And it's good to read. You got to know what's going on in this space, because so much happens every day. It's very hard to lose track. You guys remember that the weekend in California, gone for 2 days. We had crazy movements. Just crazy news going on all the time, and that's just super duper common. The crypto space, it moves very, 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 very fast paced, and it's not something that you can be away for a week and expect to be right back on track when you get back. So other than that, guys, those were all the 5 readings that we had for the day. Nothing too crazy. Obviously some good news. But April usually gears up to be a great month for the markets of cryptocurrency and just overall markets in general. So I'm hoping for a good month this month. Like I said from the beginning, we're gonna be covering. So I'm gonna be going over the NFT masterclass. We're gonna have that for the section. I'm sorry, we're gonna have that uploaded probably. I'm gonna probably record that tomorrow. I'm gonna get some cards in order and just make sure that is clear and is understandable for everybody. Just for the people who want to. It's there if you want it. Let's see what else. Making sure I didn't miss any key topics or anything just for today. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'll definitely do better next time. I don't know. I'm not even sure really what happened. We definitely just had some OBS issues, and I gotta go over some of this camera stuff and figure out what's wrong with webcams, because the DSLR isn't working anymore. I don't know why it cuts out, and it used to be really good, and I'm not sure why it's not anymore. So we'll definitely be we'll be a little bit sharper hopefully for Thursday, and if I need to just take out the webcam for a little bit and just do that, then it is what it is. We'll definitely figure out in a little bit in the future. But alrighty, guys, that's pretty much it I had for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Apologies again for the technical difficulties. This was a little bit of a rougher stream. Some days you just got it. It happens. So other than that, guys, thank you guys. Have a great have a great week until Thursday. I'll see you guys back on Thursday. Pay attention to the Patreon. I'm gonna do a lot more Patreon posts. After for the gap days. Of course, we don't stream just like usual. So awesome. Alrighty, guys, be safe. Have a great rest of your day, and